Truthy and falsy values. In the last video, we talked about conversion and coercion in JavaScript. And now, the next step is to understand the truthy and falsy values. So let's start by defining the falsy values. Falsy values are 5. These are an empty string, 0, undefined, null, and none. So none is not a number, right? And for sure, false itself. But I'm not gonna write it here because it's false. False, it's false. So let's log to the console a couple of values to show the truthy and falsy values. So we'll use the method Boolean, which converts the empty string to a Boolean. So let's check the undefined, and let's check just a string chad. As you see, till now we have false, false, true. So the first one is false, the second is false, the third is true. Let's check more and let's go for an empty object. And as you see, an empty object is true because it's not from these 5 falsy values. And last but not least, let's check the 0. We'll get false, and if we check 100, will be true. Nice, right? So everything else than these 5 falsy values will be true. But in real life, I've never used this Boolean conversion method. This is how I've used it in real life. So we have a width, right? It's a variable and it's not defined till now. Then we have an if clause. So if the width, then we log to the console. Let's say Yahoo! Width is defined, right? Then else, let's log to the console. Oops, width is not defined. Or basically, let's save and check. As you see, since the width hasn't been assigned to anything, so that means we just defined the variable, but we didn't assign anything to it. So that means it's undefined. That's why we didn't enter the first case of the if, but the second one. So that means basically if width, so if the value of this width is truthy, then we enter this one. But the value of the width here is undefined because we didn't assign anything into it. And that's why we entered the second case of the if, which is oops, width is not defined. Now, if we define that as an empty string, guess what will happen? Oops, width is still not defined. But if we assign 100 to the width, then as you see, Yahoo, width is defined. And we can go further and print exactly what's the width. So let's do that. And since we already explained the literals, I'm gonna use template literals here. It's defined. And instead of defined, I'm gonna dollars bracket and print the width out. So as you see, Yahoo, width is 100. And the same I'm gonna do if it's not defined. And the same, we need these exact kind of rotations, special one, the literals. So now let's assign this one more time to 0, which is a falsy value. Okay, wait a second. So now as you see, oops, width is 0. Now what we could do, just to check one more time, let's check if the width is falsy or truthy. And as you see, is false. So 0 is false because it's 0. If we go for 100 now and do the same here, use the method Boolean onto the width, it should be true, right? So Yahoo width is true. That means width is 100. Yeah. With that, I hope you understood the Boolean coercion, or in other words, the truthy and falsy values in JavaScript. This is a very important concept. You will use it very often in your career as a JavaScript developer. Be sure to like this video if it was beneficial for you, and subscribe to the channel to be from the 1% developers. Here's Rujat. See you in the next video.